welcome back. You're probably wondering where I've been for the past 2 months. Let's be real here, you probably haven't. I thought I might explain myself. So I did actually have content planned for the past 2 months, but life had been in the way. Not only that, but the one project that I actually started working on in terms of actually editing a video for, it got corrupted. And that's never any fun for anyone, especially considering most of the corruption was rooted in the audio, which didn't really help things, and I didn't want to record them over again because recording these things takes time. So for the past 2 months I've been busy, and non-busy projects that I've been working on decided to commit seppuku. Anyway, you may be wondering why this video is a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more cheery, a little bit more rambly than the previous video. It's because this video is a little bit scripted. It's not entirely scripted, I've just got notes written down, so I'm going to be reading or eventually getting into those. So most of this video is going to be me rambling on and on like it is now, in comparison to my previous video where it's a lot more dull, a lot more somber, and a lot more just me attempting to read everything that I've written down, which I don't really like doing. I like reading points and getting to the other points and making shit up as I go along. So that's why this video is a bit rambly, a little bit more sporadic, some may say, but we're getting there. We're getting there. You also may notice from the previous video, yet again, I've got no set. This is entirely an audio recording, except for the characters on screen, but we'll get to that in a minute. So you may be wondering why there's no set. The reason for the no set is because I've got packages coming to help redesign it. Now, I do have other plans for the set as well, but the redesign that I want is going to be mostly temporary and mostly just a quick little fix for the current situation that I'm in. I also eventually want to get a fairly decent camera because recording on my phone is a pain on the arse, and it doesn't help that in comparison to the last video, sometimes it took quite a bit of time to reset everything and then sync everything up in post. So hopefully with the new camera that I plan on getting, the audio quality is going to be somewhat more synchronous because the initial video, I guess, would be a lot more clearer, because in the previous one it was kind of tinny, kind of scratchy. It really wasn't that good because the camera was quite far away and my microphone that I had set up was right above me like it is now. So that's why this video, the audio is a little bit better. That's why in this video, the audio is the only thing that is on screen or coming through your screen, and there is no me sitting in a chair, which I hopefully really want to change. Now let's get on to the point of this video. Now the main point of this video is I wanted to produce something that at least is content for the channel, and also to explain why I've not been doing anything for the past 2 months. I also want to take the time to explain what do I want to do in the future with this channel. Now these series aren't in any particular order, so don't expect anything to be coming out within the order that it's written. It's just the way I've been thinking of. The first series that I want to do would be called Within the Writer's Room. Now, this would be a movie or TV idea pitch, I guess, meeting of some sort. Now, this is not because I want to get into fan film making, it's because I don't have the budget or the friends or the capacity to do the films themselves. The idea behind this is the fact that I have a plot or a movie idea that I want to do, but I can't do them, so I'll write them down and I'll explain to you guys, and eventually, possibly, someone can use them for their own channel or thing. The next series that I'm probably going to be doing in the future is called Rewritten. Now, Rewritten is basically how I would have done pre-existing media. So this is media that has come out and how I would have done that particular media, I guess. So this is basically going to be covering TV shows, this is going to be covering movies, basically anything that I'm either interested in or you guys have submitted for me to quote unquote rewrite, hence the name of the series, is basically how that series is going to go. So the next series that I hopefully want to be doing is called Horiath. Now, this series is going to be explaining my world that I've created, and I've not really seen many people create content like this. I've seen people explain their D&D campaign. I've seen people come up with D&D campaigns. This isn't really a D&D campaign. It's just D&D is the only thing that I can actually compare this to at this point. But Horiath basically will be me explaining the world that I've created, because at least that way it's not just something that I've done out of boredom and has no use to anyone. This is something that I can say, yeah, I always planned on doing this from the start, but which I don't really. It didn't start off that way. It was just me being bored in school one time, and so I've just been writing down random ideas that I've eventually culminated into an incomplete universe, kind of a galaxy at this point. Anyway, Horiath will be a rather interesting series, because in the first few episodes we're going to be explaining, well, I say we, I'm going to be explaining the setup for the land masses, the potential differences that you may see comparison to Earth, the world map that I'm going to be using. I've been working on fairly recently. Some countries exist in our universe, but not in theirs. Some countries exist in their universe, not in ours. There's land masses that are in their universe, but not ours, and then again vice versa. And then there are going to be some very heavily controversial takes that is going to be quite fun when we get into them. But when we do get into them, I'm going to be treating the subject with maturity, and I'm going to be explaining why I've done that, hopefully as clearly as possible. Now, this also is to say that I'm going to be getting more into detail into what the universe is like. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to say leave a like. Also leave a comment, I guess, or subscribe. That would be even better. Gotta drop that in early, I suppose. So the next series that I want to do is called Explaining Fiend. Now, Fiend is my religion, and I'm not going to be all Catholic priesty going, oh, believe in God and whatever, or you'll burn in hell, mostly because we don't actually have a hell, but we'll get more into detail in what Fiend actually is in the future. We have rather interesting ideas on how the world is and why the world is, and many philosophical questions like this. We're going to get more into detail about it later on. Sorry if that series is going to be rather awkward in me talking about it, because I don't usually like to talk about it. I don't know about other people who are in the religion, but I certainly know that it's quite a contentious topic when you talk about religion around other people, and I know I'm certainly going to get some rather interesting replies in those videos, or replies to those videos. Hopefully that video series goes together quite well. I'm also quite awkward talking about it. The next series that I want to do is called Today In. Now, Today In is going to be the gaming series, I guess, for the channel. It's going to be highlights of the streams that I'm going to be doing on Twitch. Again, you could probably find that either in the description or at the end of the video. I do plan on doing some gaming on Twitch, although most of it will be on my Xbox, and I'm basically just going to download the VOD and then edit it that way, mostly because my computer currently cannot handle streaming. Most streaming today requires at least an i5. My computer has an i3. But yeah, hopefully Today In is going to be the more regular series rather than all of the others. I don't actually have a plan for when that video is going to go out, but I do know that it is going to be going out at some point. I also plan on doing some live streaming at some point, probably in the next couple of days for me anyway, so God knows when that series will start. The next series that I want to do is going to be called The Repost. Now, The Repost is going to basically be a reaction series. It's going to be some of my more semi-regular content, kind of like the Today In series. The Repost is basically going to be me reacting to content that I've found which I think is quite interesting, or anything that you guys have submitted in. And I think it might be quite interesting to do, mostly because I haven't thought about how I'm actually going to be doing it yet. Don't worry if you don't want to watch anything that I've previously mentioned. I've got a whole bunch of variety content to come out as well. Mostly probably going to be highlights of things that I do on Twitch. I'm not going to be doing just gaming on Twitch, but gaming will be the majority of what I will be doing there until I can get a better computer, or at least some sort of software to make things actually run better. Generally speaking, however, there are going to be a lot of other things, possibly doing things in relation to model making, things in relation to, I don't know, various other things that I find interesting, or if I'm running out of content, I'm probably going to ask you guys anyway. So if you guys want to submit anything for this video or for future videos, or just tell me how interested or how uninterested you guys are, there's a whole bunch of ways. You can even get to me on Twitter if you really fancy, I don't know, spamming my feed with various ways to improve, maybe. Who knows? Who knows indeed. But generally speaking, just because I have made this video centered around those series that are probably going to be few and far between anyway, doesn't mean that that is the only content that I'm going to be doing. I have a variety of ideas at any given time, and usually they will probably culminate into something. Whether it's going to be part of the series that I mentioned before, or just standalone stuff, who knows? Eventually, something is going to come out of this whole situation that I found myself in, and eventually, someone is going to find something interesting. Basically, those are the series that I have planned. Those are hopefully going to be coming out at some point within the next year, and hopefully going to be quite interesting to watch and or listen to depending on what I do with it. A lot of the content is going to be semi-irregular, so I don't know when the next video is going to be coming out. I don't know when I'll be able to record or do any kind of video in the next couple of days, so hopefully either within this week that I'm recording it or the next week, again from the point of recording the video that I had planned originally, we can start editing and eventually posting. But don't hold me to that. Yeah, hopefully there will be more content. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be doing more on TikTok or streaming. I don't know which yet, but hopefully it'll be one of them soon. The next video, I don't know when that's going to be coming out. The video that I have planned, I'm currently still finishing, so I don't know when I'm going to be recording that. Hopefully, from the point of me recording this video, I'm going to be recording it next week or next couple of days, and then eventually I'll get around to editing that and posting it. I know it's going to be definitely quite a long one, so I don't know whether it's going to be multiple parts or whatever yet. I'm hearing a lot of long form content is going to be quite good, but we shall see about that. Anyway, I don't really have an outro like I said last time, so if you liked this video, give it a like. If you want to comment on any of the things that I've said this video, put it in the comment section. If you really want to see anything that I've talked about in this video, pop a sub with the bell because apparently that's relevant, or don't. Have a good time. Don't worry about anything, and maybe, just maybe, we can all get along together. But yes, my name has been Spoofers, a name that I'm probably not going to regret later on, and yeah, that's the end of the video. Goodbye.